Hello everybody, here's the French Bull. So as promised, we'll do a little Elliott wave update here on Bitcoin. Since we have new data now, so we have several invalidation. Overall, the high time frame counts remain mostly the same. We have one invalidation in the mean time frame that was pretty strong. It will be this flat ID, because now we don't have 5 waves building anymore. We have something else, at least that can be completed here. I mean, it cannot be running flat as we did below A. So expanded flat neither, because we dropped below the origin of propose 1 or A. So I can even delete or just keep in mind for now, just to remind for the next stream. Now on the higher time frame, you remember many ideas, one of which being we are in to complete a 5th wave here. This is still a possibility. In that case, we probably have a wave 1 finished here, a 2, and we will be in a wave 3 in process. We could still be in that ending diagonal ID, knowing that this ID, in that case we'll be looking at something like an ABC, most likely, knowing that it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, because this part here work well into a zigzag, but based on other counts that it can be also 5 wave sounds, or the flat, for example, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so ending diagonal, it can be both, depending, just need to be the same for each wave, but as this one can be both, this one can still be both. WXY. So in that case, we could have a Y finishing here. No, still making a higher low. Market seems a bit weak for this, but I mean, why not? That would mean we are finishing an ABC here. Anyhow, this ABC finish, we're gonna zoom in a bit after to see what makes the most sense. Can finished here or a bit lower. All of this could be the hand of this WXY, meaning it will be the low, but it could also be just the first wave of the Y here, the smaller Y. You can see how the first W had a really big move. So in a WXY, it's not uncommon to have a small move for the next Y, but it can be also asymmetrical, if I can say. It can be a 1-1 extension. In fact, we will take this to this. I will take 5 because it's the same target. We would expect the 0.618. You see it's wide here on log. I like to use log on such large move, especially on the downside. You see we have the 0.618 coming just a bit below the weekly, and the 1-1 extension coming at 20k, so anywhere in between remain a possible target for this. We can take this for the target. We'll be reaching the 1-1 extension in confluence with the smaller 0.618 on a log scale. As you know, this was a 1-1 extension on a linear scale. And as when we reach that low, I said, okay, maybe the 1-1 extension could be a target after this month happened. But yeah, at the end of the day, it remained an interesting target. And the same target could be between 1-1 and 161.8. Well, we can also take the other in between 1272, 1414. And yeah. But let's delete this for now. So WXY, still a valid option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still a valid option. Here you see as well on log we have tighter target. This was the target for the linear, but forget. It just, yeah, for this we just need to be able to count this 5. So maybe we're finishing a 3, 4, and a 5th, something like this. And you see how this will give more or less confluence with the other potential one. And for both of the counts, we have confluence. This count will have confluence with the WXY scenario and 5th, because it can be subdivided in an ABC or in a 5-wave smooth. So potentially we have really interesting low coming when we finish the move here, knowing that it could be the low in several scenarios, or it could be just a dead cat bounce, if I can say, before controlling for another lower low. Overall, we might be seeing something less I would say we'll be looking maybe at something more ranging as we reach the bottom, but the range can be with a 3, 4, 5, and after the 1, 2, and 1, 2, and you with some kind of range. So the 3 scenarios still valid, which have 2 possibilities for 2 of them. We have 1 invalidation. I say invalidation. At least it invalidates the idea we have a C finished here. In theory, as long as we don't reach below the bottom of wave A here, we could potentially just extending that triangle and say, well, wave C was just not finished yet. The same way it can be a WXY here. A WXY can fit a triangle. So it could. But I will definitely not favor this anymore, because markets feel a bit weak and seem that it won't take that close at some point. But in case we start to see a really quick reversal out of it, maybe the triangle will still be an idea. So scenario 4, scenario 5, well, now this one is invalidated because we did go below 5. So in that case, we'll go to, that one. That's the similar one, just saying that we had still a 5th to come. How this 5th could still be in running flat if we don't take this last year low. So to keep in mind, I'm doubtful that we'll see something reversing like this. But if it does, it does. I mean, I've been pretty loud about the fact that I think S-through that wasn't the low for a long time. Now I kind of feel that I wasn't sure that this low would be taken. I would have been ready to see this low being saved if we had like a really quick move and a quick buyback, like a bit like we saw on this move down, like a stop run. But it seems that we are seeing support being sold by some big players, so like it doesn't seem like a flush. It seems like someone is pushing through support and allowing a small trader to buy support to distribute a bit at support and eventually break down. So that's the main ideas. Should I talk about the most bearish one? I don't feel it's needed, but if we have I talked about it a few times that I believe we have pretty sure we have our wave 1 and 2 here and a 3 here, and I'm really confident that we are still in a wave 4, but it is not impossible that we have a wave 4 here and a wave 5 here, which would mean all of this is finished. But you see how this make a small wave 4 and a small wave 5 compared to the 1, 2, 3. That's why I believe we're still in a 4 and still have a 5 to come. But in the case we have 5 waves finished, that's a case where we could see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and something that will make a longer bear market and retest the lower volume support. I say it's not impossible. It's really not what I feel. What I'm saying. I think there's too much things that have been built here. I feel like we're just looking to find more liquidity to fill a big pocket. Just don't know how far it will go. But I'm confident it will be between 30 and 20k. This is a wide range, so we'll try to find a way to be more precise, of course, by looking at smaller time frame counts, confluence, Wyckoff, and sign of reversal. But anyway, I believe we'll have time to see a bit of reversal. I don't think we'll have. We'll see, but I don't think we'll see something like this unless we really have what we call a black swan event that make it big capitulation, and after we start to see the same behavior, maybe. But I think we have good chance of seeing a bit of tighter reaccumulation range like this or like this. That will happen for what I believe below 30k. Or just at 30k. If we have a ending diagonal, for example, I will break below 30k but still finish the accumulation in this area. Now let's zoom in a bit. What time frame for 4 hours? Maybe before that, before zooming in. Smaller count. You know, I talked about that trend line. That one that made me bought last week, Friday. I threw, we will see more reaction out of it, even if I was looking for continuation then. Now, this is quite a significant break. It is a significant break. I mean, we broke a yearly Viva pivot as well. Next one is pretty low. And this trend line, I believe, as is its importance. It's broken on low and linear. It was pretty close on both, but yeah. So yeah, maybe we see some acceleration from this. Maybe. We still have this weekly support, the only one I highlighted on the chart here. Let's see what correction it can give us. Remember, weekly support, we might have a good low time frame trade to take out of it, but it might also dip lower before finding more strengths. So the count here, the one that I've been chilling, is definitely validated now. We dip way below target for a fifth, way below. So this is wrong now. ABC, yeah. Anyway, so the idea now was looking at this, mainly taking, in fact, Jenny ideas that we talked about last week at the end of the stream. So yeah, it is pretty good, and now it seems even better, of course. Now we can make this several ways. Thing is, I'm starting from the bottom instead of starting from the top here. But what can we have here? Most likely we have one move completed here. Now this could be like a one and here flat. We are into the target if we are just looking at the fib target. It worked really nicely. We reached a one extension, and we dipped into the retrace we expect for a flat, right? Flat. Okay. So if that's the case, we look at this count like this. 1, 2, and target for wave 3 is 161.8, what we just reached, in fact, today. We could be looking at the 345. Now, when we zoom in a bit, it's always a bit dangerous to zoom to find another solution, but the thing is here it was really looking like an impulsive. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the bottom. We have a really strong move in the middle, not a strong move, not like a strong bounce in the middle suggesting an ABC. There's a strong move in the middle suggesting a wave 3 supported by pretty good volume. And so if we are in a flat, we want to see an ABC in the middle. And here we don't have an ABC. And here a okay, we can fit whatever we want, but it look more like a move, an impulse, sideways consolidation, and another impulse. So it looks more like a corrective move. We have a really big spike of volume coming into a squeeze. Anyway, so the idea is that maybe we have a 1-2 like this. I mean, like a 1-2, 1-2. And so we can extend it a bit more, a 1-2, making 3-5. Let's zoom out again. Let's change the degree. Now let's make primary. Okay. So just checking it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there is no issue. This looks definitely like an ABC. So 1, 2 here is fine. Here we definitely have an impulse. We are slightly short in the wave 3. Maybe because I'm just not precise here. It's quite precisely the 161.8. Yeah, let's assume this is the case. Now taking the proposed 1-2 of higher degree. One, 2, wave 3, 261.8. Maybe we get another move down here, reaching the weekly level and finding a bit of support for the wave 4. As we probably took a lot of liquidity below these two lows, maybe we have a bit of room for a bounce. Oh, we didn't quite bounce after taking this liquidity, but those lower equal. I mean, they are a lot more important than these two, and the higher ones, of course. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. For 5, and higher degree, 1, 2. So we reach already the minimum extension we expect for wave 3. Now, while we come, we'll see. You see how this could start to slow down, maybe a bit like we saw here. You know, when you start to look at wave 4 and 5 on several degrees, that's where you might see a slowing down, several bounce. But at the same time, we have target for the street that is way down. So it depends how the market reacted. Either slow down, either accelerate and do crazy extension for the 5th. That's when we are in a big move. That's where we see crazy extension for 5th. Because here, if let's assume we do have our wave 3 finishing here, a wave 3 of this. So we have another move down to reach the 261.8. Wave 4 retrace. So we would expect something like this, indeed. And then on linear, downside on linear extension tool is often really spread out a lot. And you see in that case, a maximum target for a fifth is a 161.8 here. But I would. So yeah, it could dip much lower, in fact. Yes, that's the one I wanted to show. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the one extension, 161.8 to 28K. And let's check back. Sorry, I'm not. I made a mistake. That's the one I should have took for the target for the fifth. Sorry, it's not that spread. Still spread, but not as much. Let's take this on a wave 5 target. And let's take now again a target for wave 3 and this one. Let's add one in the middle. If you want. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 potentially. 4 and a fifth. Yeah, we still have target coming. $28K. That's the standard target. And now if I take 1 plus 3, 0.618, coming closer to the 261.8 potential confluence for this wave 3 in red. So potentially a big move down. In fact, that could make sense here. Big move down. And confluence of the stop below summer low. So potentially a swing for a pattern. In this area, pretty dangerous to live catch because you don't know, sometimes it's too crazy weak, especially on Bybit and derivative exchanges. That's where we could see a much lower price, much bigger discount on derivative exchange due to liquidation. But also potentially the same way we could see a nice bounce here because we are taking this liquidity, looking for a 4. This is equally higher, equally bigger, not equally, even a bigger liquidity pool below this low, even more important. So could produce an even more stronger bounce for a higher degree with 4. That's the through process. So now I've been focusing here on the count from that high. Now, how do we make connection with the rest? Well, for this part, we can assume that we have a complete impulse, which will be either wave 1, either wave A. Do we finish it here, finishing it here? Both are valid. We know we can fit 5 waves move into this move down, but it looked kind of better as a 3 move down, and this one looked better as an impulse, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we have volume and a stronger move in the middle. Here we have a strong move, big bounce, and strong move. Just how it look. So I kind of staying with the expanded flight idea here. It has its importance because where do we pull the fib to connect this leg with this one. So here I'm going with the idea that we have 5 waves completed here. How do we have this? We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth. Okay. It's a short wave 3, small wave 4, but it really look good and correct. It's into the guidelines target, and in terms of length and time, it really looked good to me. And anyway, we have something completed, so I'm not gonna spend hours on this last section. So here I put my fib from this move down, this move up, and let's pull. Let's go for the complete fib. So what do we have here? Other thing. Now, if we are following, that's also why I wanted to start here. It's because we saw there is a few possibilities how this is starting, and so how it is developing. So where we will find the low. Now, if it is this way, you see how we will easily reach much more down than the 161.8 target. But it could also be smaller target, wave 3, a smaller wave 4, and a smaller wave 5, and just stay into that range. But what we saw so far, it kind of makes sense. It will accelerate here. All of this to say that now we have 1, 2, and most likely a 3 if we do go much below than the 161.8. It looked like a 3. I think this is a 3 and 0, 4 and a 5. So this will be the idea for the scenario 1. For this C. For this 5, finishing this C. This need to be much higher degree now. Okay. Now, let's delete this, this, and this for now. And where is my count here? Scenario 2, right? And scenario 1 here. Okay. Higher degree. So that's 180. I'll have to recognize that. Anyway, let's continue where were we? The other idea is to have a 1, 2 here as a flat. You don't focus on the lower time frame, you focus just on the structure. It is a sideways correction potentially. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 potentially. I went maybe a bit too fast, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So let's make this official with a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Intermediate. Just checking the extension. So this we saw it was just 161.8. So it was from Fran. Okay, that's good. This is good. Sorry, I don't want to be too slow, but it takes more time to do the things right. 1, 2, 3, 161 target reach. Let's make it complete here. On log, on linear, we are precisely at the 161.8 right now. Precisely. Actually, because we are taking the intermediate low and intermediate high. So yes, this definitely works as well, and this is the original, exactly the original count of Jenny. I mean, the one that she shared me. Now, let's write this down as well. This is down. ABC. The idea is primary here, yes. And dark color. So now, if I take my fib target here, from here to here, and to here, we see how now we can fulfill an ABC move, allowing for room, but we are into the target between the 1 and the 161.8. So it can be an ABC move here. Let's say we find support on the weekly. Let's take the lower one just to verify with diagonal. 2. Yeah, that's a target we were looking for potentially. I mean, it can be tighter, but usually for an ending diagonal, we are looking at something that is that I've got a bit of inclination, too much sideways, but more it's downtrend. So this could still be a valid ending diagonal, but yeah, let's look at this like this for now. So it worked for the ending diagonal. It worked for the WXY. And as we were saying, this could become the wave Y and big Y. So it could be the end of the correction. Or as we are looking at a way bigger first wave, this should be a degree as well. I don't like when the higher degree have smaller later, it doesn't look right. Yeah, here we go. And this is okay, all right. So we could be looking at W, an X, and a Y still. This would allow a large bounce before again another capitulation. This would be kind of a kind of a tricky price action for a lot of people, I believe, but it will allow to bounce long enough to change market sentiment again before doing it our last leg down. I mean, the same way this price action shift sentiment, you see how it's sentiment shift with time. When we were here, people were a lot bearish. Most of the market sentiment was bearish. It was starting to be bullish again here, bearish again here, bullish again here. And it start to equilibrate here and start to get really, really bullish. It is in balance. Yeah, we flip from bearish to bullish, but as we are making higher lows, and building some kind of consolidation strengths, bullish sentiment overall tend to regain confidence, because at the end of the day, Bitcoin markets remain a market led by a bullish sentiment, that have been led at least by a lot of retail, and retail tend to be more orientated to bullish market, because it is anyway, because it is. Maybe because people are optimistic. So I think I covered most of all. Again, I don't have all the answer I would like to have to say the law will be here. Bottoming is a process. So the thing we want to see, the thing we wait to see it show the path. But I think we hope we don't just, for me the hope is that price action take its time and make a clear path and give us enough clue to see the reversal at its building. I prefer not seeing too much of a strong reaction that make it difficult to enter a nice swing trade. Prefer that. I prefer the idea where it slowly bleed down and build its reversal. Now we have obviously signs where for our sold. Maybe the good things to do is to really wait for the final wave 4 that produce a bounce and the final wave 5 that produce a nice divergence on our 4 hour or even on a daily time frame, maybe. Yeah, depending. It will depend if we are more into more into a zigzag or 5 waves down. If we really are building a wave 3 here as scenario 2, well, in that case we might clearly see an oversold daily, and maybe this 4 and 5 will form a divergence on the daily time frame. If it's more an ABC move, like that one, then we'll look more at for bullish divergence can get squeezed one time or two before really reversing, but here we see how this could be building, so we know where to look. At the end of the day, I'm still waiting for a nice bounce bigger than we saw here, to suggest that we have a higher degree wave 4 building, and then the next dump into the lows. Then I really look to position as I believe it could be a wave 5. Already what I was doing here that I've not been great on that price action. I can only say this, but we'll keep the focus, and I will do my best to keep the updates as regular and clean as possible. I have just to finish the stream on a personal side note, I will have to do things in the coming days that may keep me a bit away from the computer, so do my best to keep up to date. But I'll have to move my stuff, all of my stuff, and go closer to my family. So I have a trip to plan this week. I don't know exactly how I do it, but I'll do. But all of this to say, I will not be able to keep on the chat all day, unfortunately, and I'll have to. Yeah. Anyway, for now, the stream is still planned for tomorrow and Thursday. We'll see. This video is public. I will post it on my public channel, especially if I said I would. So don't hesitate to leave a like, share, or let a comment. Give me, your ideas. Tell me what you feel, what you're looking at. I'm always willing to have other people's opinion, especially where they are going through a process, not just to the moon and to the ground. But tell me what you think, and see you soon, everybody. Bye.